About 1200 years back, sailors and explorers from Norway left in search of new lands, and some of them landed here in Iceland. So I want to take this moment of peace and calm and beauty, to thank those explorers. Because without them, the world wouldn't have known about this magical place, and this trip certainly wouldn't have been possible. Let's go. Welcome to the land of ice and fire. My name is Ajay, and over the course of 11 days, I'll be traveling solo across Iceland. I'll be driving over 1700 kilometers on the Iceland Ring Road that circles this magical island. There'll be waterfalls, there'll be rainbows, there'll be waterfalls with rainbows. I'll be hiking volcanoes, glaciers, and other woolly landscapes. The journey will take me through mountain passes, the majestic fjords, and onto the deadly black sand beaches. We'll explore mountains, relax on the geothermal pools, and marvel at the many picturesque fishing villages and towns. And through it all, I'll try my best to stay alive and not get lost or frozen. So come join me on this road trip of a lifetime. This is Iceland like you've never seen before. Welcome to a new day here in Iceland, and the road trip has officially begun. So today I'm doing the famous Golden Circle trip, and the drive is going to be about 190 kilometers. There are three main attractions on this circle. I started from Reykjavik, which is the capital of Iceland. The next stop is going to be the Thingvellir National Park, then the incredible Geysir, and the last stop is going to be the mighty Gullfoss Waterfall. From there I'll drive to Selfoss, where I'll be spending the night. About the car, it's the Kia Sportage, fully automatic 4-wheel drive. And as this is the month of March and it is still considered winter in Iceland, which you can obviously tell from the snow around, a 4-wheel drive is recommended. I rented this car from this company called Blue Car Rental. I had originally booked the Dacia Duster, which had the manual transmission and was cheaper, but that wasn't available, so I got an upgrade. And I'm loving this drive, and this is the first time I'm driving an automatic. And it feels so easy to drive. The only problem I'm facing right now is the fact that I'm driving on the right. I live in India and there we drive on the left. So this is a little confusing and I will take some time getting used to this. Since I left Reykjavik this morning, the views along the drive have been truly incredible. Now that we have our own car, we can stop anywhere. I saw a lot of cars parked here, so I decided to check out what's up with this place. This is my beautiful car, and it will be my companion for the next 8 days. I'm not sure what exactly this spot is, but it looks cool with all this blanket of snow. We have a lot of ground to cover today, so let's move to our next destination. The Thingvellir National Park is just a few kilometers away, but this drive is so incredible. It's my first day driving in Iceland, and I've been told that the drive progressively keeps getting better every day as we keep driving along the ring road. By the way, the Golden Circle is not part of the ring road. It's like a detour from Route 1 or the ring road. The ring road journey will start tomorrow from Selfoss, and I'll be driving along the ring road counterclockwise, and the journey will end after 8 days in Reykjavik, where I initially started from. Okay, we are at the first major stop of the day, the Thingvellir National Park. This place is quite something. This looks like nature's pathway, and it is in a way. Apart from the scenic beauty, this place has historical and geological significance. I'm actually walking between two continents. So Iceland is divided by the Mid-Atlantic Rift. This is where the North American and the Eurasian tectonic plates meet. So yes, I'm walking between North America and Europe at the moment. On my left is North America and on my right is Europe. So these unique rock formations are because this place is a meeting point of two tectonic plates. By the way, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, this place would look familiar. Some of the scenes have been shot here. There's also a spot nearby called Selfoss where you can swim or snorkel between the two tectonic plates. It's a bit of a walk, but I'm loving it. It's a nice day and the sun is out, but it is cold, and to be honest, I'm struggling to operate the camera with my gloves in this cold. This is Norwood, and it is the founding location of Iceland. It was the site of the country's first parliament, and that's why there's the Iceland flag here. This is the Oxara River, which translates to the Axe River. There's also a waterfall on this river, and I'm going to check that out next. Now this place has a lot of historical significance. The first permanent settler in Iceland was Ingólfur Arnason, who was a Norse explorer from Norway and built the first settlement in Iceland at Reykjavik in the year 871. For the next 56 years, a lot of clans from Norway came to Iceland and built their settlements across the country. Then in the year 930, all the chiefs of these clans decided to meet here at this location and establish the first parliament of Iceland. The parliament was called the Althing, and the name Thingvellir translates to the field of the parliament. The parliament decided the laws of the land, disputes were settled, and even criminals were tried and punished here. The Althing would then take place every year. This is the Gullfoss Waterfall. After soaking in the sun for a few minutes, it was time to explore the other sections of this region. This place is called the Dead Man Walking. It is here that people were punished during the medieval times, and the punishments were brutal. Where I'm walking right now, at this very place, a lot of hangings and beheadings have taken place. In the year 1930, because of its history, this place became a national park, almost a millennium after the first Althing in the year 930. And then in the year 1944, it is here that Iceland declared its independence from Denmark. The place is very slippery because of the snow and ice, and everyone was struggling to walk, but I had nice shoes. So I helped quite a few people pull through this slippery space and climb on the top.
Yeah, I love my shoes.
This is the end of the national park, and it gives you a nice view of the valley.
So this is the last spot.
Remember how I was bragging about my shoes? Well, this happened a few minutes later. Thankfully, I didn't break anything, neither the bones nor my camera. The park is huge, so you'll need a lot of time to explore this place. I wanted to walk down and check out those water streams, so I'll do that now. Can you hear how windy this place is? Now, because this place is located between two tectonic plates, earthquakes continue to happen every day, but most are far too minor to be felt. This is also a volcanic region, and there are quite a few volcanoes around, but none have gone off in the area in 2000 years. But they are not considered extinct. More eruptions are expected. The question is only as to when. How cool is this bridge? wish I could spend more time here. It is quite serene and peaceful, but I gotta move now. I grabbed a quick bite and then I was back behind the wheels. About 47 kilometers away was the next stop, the Geysir Geothermal Area. And this area is filled with the smell of sulfur. Check out all the steam coming up. The place is quite unreal. So the entire area is scattered with hot springs, steam vents, boiling mud pots and plenty of geysers. And do you see the contrast? All this hot stuff is in the cold weather and the snow-covered landscape. Do you see all these people with their cameras out, as if they are waiting for something to happen? This is Strokkur, the second most famous geyser in this area. It is also the most popular one because it is the most reliable. And you will know why in a couple of seconds. Strokkur erupts every 5 to 10 minutes and can shoot water up to a height of 30 meters. Do you see this ring of steam and sulfur? Can't believe people throw coins into these springs. There's a pathway that leads to the top. Let's check out what's up there. My shoes are actually nice. Without them, I wouldn't have been able to walk in the snow. There's also a sundial at the top and it is telling me that it is 3 p.m, which is about right, and it is also showing me the direction of my next destination, Gullfoss. Okay, now let's check out the most famous one here, the Great Geyser. The Great Geyser, which is right in front of me, is the biggest one here. There was a time when it used to erupt every 3 hours, but now it is mostly dormant. And the last eruption happened in 2016, and before that in the year 2000. But when it erupts, it can shoot water up to a height of almost 70 meters. That's when I realized that I was standing too close to it. Cause if it somehow decides to erupt now, then this would be the last video on this channel. By the way, the Great Geyser is the original geyser. It's where the word geyser or geyser comes from. And it lends its name to all the geysers in the world, including the ones in your bathroom. This is the little geyser. And it looks kinda cute. This board here tells everything you need to know about geysers, and that the biggest geyser in the world is the Steamboat in the USA, which can shoot water up to a height of 90 meters. Okay, now let's move to our next destination. About 10 kilometers from the Geysir Geothermal Area is Gullfoss or the Golden Falls. Welcome to Gullfoss. Even at this distance, you can feel how powerful this waterfall is. Do you see that rainbow? I only saw the rainbow when I started sifting through the camera footage. It is very windy and it is very cold right now. How amazing is this waterfall? So the waterfall is on the Huita River, And as you can see, it's a two-tiered cascading waterfall. The first drop is 11 meters and the second drop is 21 meters. I can see a hiking trail, but I don't think it's safe now in the snow. Check out this canyon, it looks quite deep. Now the reason why it is called Gullfoss or Golden Falls is because of how it looks during summer. It's all covered in snow and ice now, but during summers this is how it looks. And it takes on a golden hue. And during summers you can go further down, but now most of the tracks are closed due to snow. But there are a couple of viewpoints which are still open. There's also an interesting story associated with Gullfoss, the one about its survival, but I will save that one for our drive back to Selfoss. Now let's just enjoy the views. There's a small cafe and restaurant at the Gullfoss Visitor Center. I was cold and I badly needed a hot drink. So I grabbed a hot chocolate and then I was back on the road. I'm going to be spending the night at Selfoss, which is about 80 kilometers from here. It's 5:30 PM now and I need to reach there before it gets dark. Because it's not a good idea to be driving in Iceland after dark during winters. Now while we enjoy this beautiful drive, let me tell you the Gullfoss story. Back in 1907, the waterfall was actually owned by a farmer named Thomas Thomasson, and he had a daughter named Sigrid Thomasdottir. Now the waterfall attracted an English businessman named Howell, who wanted to utilize the waterfall for building a hydroelectric plant on top of it for generating electricity. Howell tried to buy the waterfall, but Thomas declined, famously saying that I will not sell my son. He would however go on to lease Howell the land, but there was a loophole in the lease that would allow Howell to proceed with his plans. Then it was his daughter Sigrid who led the charge to protect the waterfall. There was a long legal battle which went on for years. In fact, Sigrid had to travel to Reykjavik by foot multiple times for this. And Reykjavik is about 120 kilometers from Gullfoss. It's the early 20th century, travel was difficult and there were no cars like these back then. She also threatened to throw herself in the waterfall if any construction began. Sigrid finally won in the year 1929 and the waterfall was saved. She thus became Iceland's first environmentalist. And her lawyer Svein Björnsson became the first president of Iceland in the year 1944. The Icelandic government finally bought the waterfall in the year 1945 and the waterfall is now owned and preserved by the Icelandic government. By the way, this drive is truly incredible. So let's just sit back and enjoy this drive till we reach Selfoss. We have finally arrived at Selfoss. It looks like a nice little town. I need to find my hotel first, then I need to buy some grocery to cook my dinner. I have barely eaten anything since morning.
Exit the roundabout, then turn right.
And this is where I'm staying. Pretty cool, right? There is also an aurora forecast here and I hope to get to see the northern lights tonight. It was an incredible day, a great start to the road trip. I'll see you tomorrow in the next episode where I will continue my journey along the ring road. Thanks for watching, and please like, share and subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think of today's journey in the comments. Good night.